Hello everyone, I'm Jackson from the Well Squad. Today we'll be talking about technical analysis. What is it, how to use it, how to make money from it, and what tools to use. So right now we're looking at Apple. We're looking at the around 1 year chart on TradingView.com. TradingView is a great free resource. All you have to do is create an account and you will be able to save your charts and stuff there. So I highly recommend it. So let's look at Apple, right? The first key to technical analysis is looking at past trends, seeing how those did. So what I see already that kind of already happened is a wedge here, somewhere like that, where you can see it's closing in. And of course it was a bullish move. It broke out of this trend line. Right, the trend line doesn't stop. It stops when the lines converge. So you can see Apple hit this trend line, but it you can see it almost got denied, right? It went above and fell right back below, but it did recover intraday as the candle does show a large line on the bottom. But you can see Apple did go past this trend line and continue upwards. Up from 130 now to 145. So that's a trend line that happened, and it's in the past now. All we can do is learn from it. We're not gonna have regrets of, oh, I should have been in Apple, or I didn't see this, that type of thing. So let's just look at the now for Apple. If you didn't know already, I'm using the 50 and 200-day moving average. You can see it's kind of a support resistance line in itself. Or trend line if you want. So you can see this 200-day, it did hit 3 times and it all bounced off of that 200-day line. In the past, back in March of 2020, same thing happened. It fell below for a couple days and jumped right back above it. As time progresses, Apple will continue to hit that 200-day. It's not like it's never going to touch it ever again. If history repeats itself, which it does, it definitely will. So, eventually Apple will be around this mark. It could be, months from now or maybe a couple years from now. But let's just focus on, the next couple months. So you can see the 50-day as well acts as another guide back after the March 2020 crisis. And now since the recovery, it almost touched it once, bounced right above it, and is kind of playing with it since. You can see right here, it does act as a support and resistance line. So, it fell below it, and now it's acting as a resistance. Can't get above it, and it finally did. Now it's acting as support, bounce above it, then resistance again, trying to go above it, and now it's acting as support. Now support's when it's below, resistance when it's above. That's something to keep in mind. So you can see the 50 and 200-day acting as a support, waiting for Apple stock to get near it so it could jump above it or fall below it slightly just to jump above it later. But let's look at Apple as a stock, as a trading vehicle now. So what I see, let's look at support and resistance lines. What you could do is grab a horizontal line like this, and look at the latest support and resistance at the top and bottom of the chart. So of course this will be one. It's the highest the chart's been. Another one will be around right here. We'll make it simple for ourselves. So that's our our trading range. This is what we're gonna see Apple go from 104, 105 to 150. Now we could look at another line, which I do see right here. Now this does act as a support and resistance as well. It did act as only a resistance until it finally jumped above it, and it's been staying above it since. But let's put this right here. You can see hit once, hit twice, hit 3 times, try to jump above it, got denied. Hit 4, almost hit 5. And on the 6th time, it jumped above it and kept going. So now we have those lines. Let's put some trend lines in there. So I'm going to change this to trend line. Go from the highest highs That's what these are. Apple continuously makes higher highs in the past couple months. You can see it back in September, back in January, and now we're nearing all-time highs once again. Then you could also see higher lows. So that means Apple's, of course, in a bullish market, in a bullish trading range. So that's the simplest Apple chart you could find, right? You can see that this 200-day moving average is acting also as a trend line that it bounced off a couple times back in May. But the trend line just keeps going, right? Same with the moving average. But the trend line does not move when the stock does. Not by itself at least. The moving averages do. So, however Apple does tomorrow, that will change the moving average direction, both for 50 and 200-day. Of course, for the 200-day, it'll take some more time to, adjust. If a 10% drop happened tomorrow, you'll see the 50-day pointed downward, while the 200-day is pointed slightly downward. That's just because the 200-day is comprised of the last 200 days. Same with 50, and if I had a 9 moving average, it would be a lot more volatile. So, we have our Apple chart. Where can we go from here? So, I do see that Apple is looking to touch the all-time high mark for a third time. It does look like it, up 1.3% today. Now we just have to wait, right, to see what happens. If I was trading Apple at this time, I would simply wait for this 150 mark and see if it could keep going, right? Back here, this is exactly what I would think as well. It did not keep going. It got denied, and that's when you should, sell out. Try to make some money at least. But we could see if it's going to pass all-time highs. If not, we could see another support at 138 or, the 137 range. And if that gets denied, then we could see, the 130s. But that's just something to look at, right? That gives you a general view of where Apple is headed. If it continues this trend, it will keep going up to the 150s, 160s in the future. But we just have to see, right? Now, I did this, just by hand. But if you don't actually know how to do all this and you find it hard, and this didn't help as much as it should have, then what I would use is finviz.com. Now, Finviz, free resource. It's very, very nice because it does have trend lines and support resistance lines. You could see the general direction I got right, but I did miss out on this line. So you could add that in there just for further, better use to see where Apple's headed. Now, this does show that Apple will continue to hit this line. If not, then follow this trend line instead. And then you could see, it also uses the moving averages. And then stockcharts.com is also a good one. You can see it does bounce off the 200-day and pretty accurately as it seems. So we should definitely watch that 200-day moving average. If Apple comes close to it again, touches it, we know that we should start a position, right? So, because in the past it has hit and just bounced directly off of. If it gets hit and gets denied and falls below, when it did right here, then we should reassess, like, all right, what's our next move? Of course, the next day was a bullish move for Apple. It did not get totally denied, it didn't just keep going down. So that was good. But something to look out for, right? This is how you chart, how to make money from it. Just watch to see if it hits a support resistance. If it breaks past the the resistance, it could be a bullish move or it could be a denial. And if it falls down, breaks down, you could buy it off the support and make some money as well. So I hope this helped. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and don't forget to sign up to the Wealth Squad. Get money by income. It's the key to wealth. And the Wealth Squad does teach that with thousands of members and many different topics of personal finance, investing, and business. So if you are interested, click the link in the description to join the Wealth Squad. It's only $50 a month, and it'll definitely be worth it. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.